7 o'clock, call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, tonight there'll be a vote to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing collective bargaining strategy for units A and B, because of doing so in public session could negatively impact the bargaining position of the school committee. The committee will not return to public session and adjourn its meeting from executive session. There will be no agenda adjustments this evening, and the meeting is being videotaped. Okay.
Really?
That was to the owl.
Yes, that's the owl in the center here. That is,
I told this guy.
yes.
That is an owl. Public comment. I don't see any members of the public here, so I doubt that will happen. I will ask for a motion to approve the set of minutes that you were given in the package. Situate.
Second.
And we got Hanson. Any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It is unanimous. Motion carries. Reports the treasurer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. In your package, you have the May 31st Treasurer's Report. Again, the spring sports are in full bloom, so they're on the front cover with the softball and track, baseball, and a bunch of activity going on in the school the last few weeks. So, our financial position as of May 30th, cash positions overall, about $8.3 million in the bank and then the savings accounts total. And we have about $829,000 in our open account. Page 2 has our revenue for the month of May. Again, we do our billing for the final quarter of billing for our member towns. We've received $1.7 million of our member towns assessments during the month of May. Abington is the only town that has not yet paid. Tricia has reached out to them to hopefully get this in before the June 30th close of the fiscal year. Other than that, we have miscellaneous income along with our monthly Chapter 70, $370,000 payment. So a little over $2 million of revenue for the month of May, which explains why our cash balance is that high. So we'll do a great job of eating away that during the month of June. The final page is the expenses. Again, just a little over $1.1 million spent during the course of the month. Most of that, of course, is the payroll. A lot of end of the year numbers are coming through with most of the purchasing of stock. We're, for the obviously school's out, so a lot of supplies are down. But there have been, again, as we move forward into the year, we're stocking up on other items for next year as well. So overall, we're in great financial shape, and again, things are looking great.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept the motion report? Whitman, Abington, second. Any discussion on the treasurer's report? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Chairman, that's me.
No.
Oh, you got one more. I'm sorry, I jumped on the wrong one.
Okay.
I apologize. Jim, go ahead.
Okay, in your package, document 3, we have a motion to transfer. I'll read the motion. A motion to transfer $175,937 into stabilization fund from surplus revenue in FY 2021 for the future design renovations in their construction of our facilities for a total of $175,937.
So moved. Second.
What happens is every year We start the year with a transfer to the stabilization for future repairs as part of the budget that's voted on every year. As we get close to the end of the year, we do our analysis, this complex is able to scrub down the numbers to see where we are from a financial standpoint. And we've been lucky for the last number of years that I've been here, we've been able to identify a surplus as we head towards the close of the fiscal year. Part of the use of the excess revenues and surplus is transferring money into the stabilization, again, for future projects and helping offset any future borrowings or other outlays. We are allowed by state statute to accumulate 5% of our assessments into a given year into stabilization. So based upon what was put into the budget from the stabilization, this $175,000 will give us that 5% of money that goes into the stabilization for the fiscal year. So that's why it's an odd looking number. It matches our 5% number. So,
Jim, I have a question.
yes.
Can we vote on and get we'll say a capital stabilization account so that it's used strictly for capital projects? That's what this is, right? And then we have our regular account extra that money.
We have excess and deficiency, which is determined by the state every year when the auditors come in. So we have excess and deficiency, which is a pot of money, which is surplus reserves we can use for any purposes. And the stabilization is designed for what the school committee votes, and this is for future capital projects.
And we're only allowed to have a certain percentage of that?
We can only put 5% per year into the stabilization.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Okay, we had a motion by Situate and a second by Rockland. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. It's unanimous, motion carries. Okay, now it's time. Chris, I'm sorry to announce that this is your last meeting with us. I wish you well, and I want to thank you for your 9 years of help with the committee, with the school and everything. It's been enjoyable, and I hope to see you around.
Yeah.
Don't be
Thank
a
you.
stranger.
I enjoyed working with all you guys and with the administration. Everybody does a great job with the school, and it's in good hands, so.
Yeah. Chris, unfortunately, you weren't here long enough to get a rocking chair. You got out in time.
Maybe
So, my friend, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Now you don't even have to shave anymore.
I don't think that's ever bothered him. Okay. Subcommittees, Secretary Treasurer Evaluation Subcommittee. The subcommittee met last week, and we had lengthy, not really, negotiation with Jim. Very quick, very painless, and we agreed to a 3-year contract. And the amounts I can read: 21-22, $42,376.92; 22-23, $43,648.23; and 23-24, $45,175.92. Like I said, the negotiation went very smoothly, very nicely, and that's what we agreed to. So,
I'll make the motion.
okay,
I'll second that.
Norwell and Whitman. Any discussion on this contract? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Tom, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll take these in reverse order with my comments. Initially, first, most anticlimactic part is to just be able to acknowledge that with the completion of all of our town meetings, and thanks for your help and support, we've secured a budget. Fiscal 22, all 8 of our communities supported the assessments that we sought. And also notably in this town meeting cycle. We also secured our 8th town with Whitman's town meeting on June 2nd. So we now have the approval of our sending communities regarding that debt authorization. From this point forward, we will continue to begin to plan the next slate of priority projects. This is a matrix that we have talked about that we're going to reevaluate, and my intention would be in communicating with our project manager and with our design team that they will begin work on design for the replacement of the roof. And I would also be looking to engage them with some work this summer on some expanded space, with the goal that by next summer, 12 months from now, my hope would be that we would have a plan to be putting on a new roof and to be starting the foundational work for some targeted addition that will improve our instructional space, with the goal that within that project, kids from our shops will be doing some of the work during the 22-23 school year. And so I'll be asking the capital projects subcommittee to reconnect on those projects as we get into the summer. We go out to bid by the fall, or by December at the latest, and then we can ultimately what I want to, I should even say, I can say December at the latest, that's probably pushing it. I want to be in a position where, in taking on a project where we can now, you can now authorize and incur the debt, to have an exact number, so that when Jim crunches the numbers in January and has that debt service column, that we can go to our communities in January and say, okay, we're starting phase 1, here's what we're planning, and here are the numbers, and here's your town's share. So we'll be working judiciously on that over the next 6 months. So any questions before I pivot? No. Okay, great. So thank you again for your support on the debt authorization as well, and we do appreciate the support from our communities as we work to tackle those projects. And now I'll turn it over to Mark and Sandy for end of the year reports.
Thank you, Mr. Hickey. First of all, I'd like to thank Chris personally. Back from when you were a parent to you were on this board, I don't want to know how old your daughter is now, please just don't tell me. But thank you for all your years of service.
Thank you.
Been a strong end of the year. Over 350 students took the MCAS test, part of 3 grades. So the freshmen took the physics and the biology test, the sophomores took English and math, and the juniors, a section of the juniors who would be eligible for state scholarships also took that. So over about 3 weeks, we were able to administer 350 tests throughout the building, make sure that people around with COVID or sickness were able to make that up. So a great job by the entire school, the administration team, and the students for being flexible, as well as the teachers. Mr. Coughlin did mention our sports teams. The spring sports teams finished strong. A lot of our teams had the option to go into the tournament, which is just starting next week. The only team that decided to do so was our softball team. The other ones decided they were going off to work and whatever else, and they didn't want to do that. But the softball team plays in the tournament next Monday at Bishop Connolly down in Fall River, so they'll be in the state tournament. And the tournament runs through the end of the month and right up until the 4th of July weekend because of the late start of the season. I want to thank everybody who came to graduation. It was a great event. The parents talked afterwards. They loved it. They were very supportive. They liked the location, they liked the setup, they liked the flow of the event. They didn't have really anything bad to say about it. They appreciate all that took attend. And hopefully that if you didn't get to attend, you've been able to see it. It's on the website, you can watch it. I thought it was exciting. We had people from Ireland watching our graduation as we were doing it. I thought it was great to be able to have that ability. I always joke with the students that your aunt from Topeka, Kansas can see now. So now literally she can see now. So it's really nice. We continue doing things a little bit of 2021. We have a night of excellence every year. That's when we honor our 9th, 10th, and 11th graders who are most improved in a class or best overall in a class. We usually have a big event to be inviting the parents and the students, and we do it in the gymnasium. We weren't able to do that this year, but we did do it. We collected all the information, we created all the certificates, and the teachers were able to hand deliver to the kids the students who won those awards in each class. So at least they saw from their peers those who were acknowledged as being the best and most improved. Finally, I'm going to end with last Monday, June Summers, who is a mother of a recent graduate, Louisa Soros, who was in Mental Fat Well. She owns the Mom on the Go food truck, and she came by on Monday and she volunteered and she gave every staff member a free sandwich, free grilled cheese sandwich with all kinds of options, bacon and tomato and pulled pork and mac and cheese. It was a really nice little, unfortunately, downpour the whole time, so they weren't able to, but they were out and they got to experience and have a little camaraderie to end the year, so it was a nice event. I'm going to send off a thank you letter for her, but it was very nice of her to donate that to the school and to the staff that has really had a really strong year. I'm going to throw it over to Sandy to talk about where we're going.
Great, nice transition. I must admit that the last day of school yesterday in our tour throughout the building, in taking an opportunity to thank all educators, was actually fairly emotional. It was great to catch up with each of the educators and learn a little bit about their year, thank them for their service and their hard work, and they were all very thankful for the leadership under Tom and Mark for the opportunity to do 7 out of 10 days for almost all students all school year long. They're very grateful to the work of our school nurse, Colette Worrell, in ensuring a safe and healthy school. They were very proud of themselves for the work that they have done in their instructional strategies that supported a hybrid learning environment. Those are techniques that will stand strong and will support a regular environment moving forward. And so it was a great end to the school year to have an opportunity to connect with them in the halls and in the classrooms. I'm looking forward to next year focusing in with my colleagues on learning, right? Assessment, instruction, grading practices, and what are the gaps? We did a great job this year, but what are the learning gaps and how are we going to fill those and then to make sure that our students graduate with everything that they need. To that end, we're offering an extended school year starting tomorrow morning with those students who struggled with the hybrid program and needed a little extra time to finish up their school year. So they'll be here through next Friday working to complete their coursework, extending their school year. We have approximately 45 students in that program and another handful of students in a special ed summer program doing the same, but in a more supportive environment. So proud of the work that we've done this year and looking forward to rolling out my sleeves and digging in with new projects and a different focus next year. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a difficult year for everyone, and we all appreciate the work you guys have done, the teachers have done, and the school committee. It's been a different year, and look where we are now. Hopefully, we'll be back to whatever normal is.
If I may.
Yeah, certainly, man.
I want to say graduation was unique, and the idea of having all the families together was outstanding. I thought it was a great idea with the little flag with the names of them. So, I mean, they had a little bit of parents had something to take home or whatever. And I just thought it was an outstanding idea. And I'm looking, I'm saying, look at the groups of family, right? And then when you called the class, they would come up and they'd walk around. It worked perfectly, you know? It was a good idea, and the weather held beautifully. And well, thank God for the golf cart rather to give us a ride there. You know, right? It was. Yeah. Well, he's old. I'm old. Sorry about that. Anyway, it was a great idea. I liked it.
You should thank Mr. Mahoney. He was the one who helped us get the golf cart, so thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, absolutely what Dan said, it was wonderful. I love the fact that the families were together. As far as I'm concerned, I'd love to see that every year.
Yeah.
I think the great part about it is a lot of the parents probably don't see the back of the school. So now they got to see what the back of the school looks like. Rather than not at the top, I just not at the school, you get to see it also.
Yeah, it was. And there was one other thing. They had to find a parent. They had a little issue out front, and they had to find a parent. And the way it was set up with by class and by name was no big deal. There was no announcement. They just walked down, saw the parent, corrected the issue, boom, done, and no one knew. So that worked out many different ways. It was well done.
Yeah.
Well done, I agree. I agree. And Mr. Chairman, with your observation about us all being maskless, this is in line with the state guidance. And so I was on a commissioner call early this afternoon, and the position right now is that if things don't take a turn, the Department of Education's position in consultation with the medical community is we will be back to school with no distancing and no masks. So that's the beginning of the return to normal. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That it? Don?
That's it.
Okay. Next item on our agenda is the superintendent evaluation. I would ask for a motion to approve Tom's evaluation. Hanson and Situate, any discussion?
I read all the evaluations and they're right on cue. There's some of the areas I would have been a little higher on Tom's evaluation, but I thought he does a great job. There's no, we don't want anybody else.
Yeah.
No,
Go ahead.
I'll do it the same thing. Although I didn't get it to you in time, I went exemplary and everything. He did a fantastic job doing COVID, kept the school running, all the students that wanted to go to school did. Fantastic job. Congratulations.
I second that.
Yeah, this was one difficult year for the management of the school. All staff, principals, vice principals, department heads, superintendent.
Yep.
Just to keep this school going to the fact that the children get an education. And they can walk out of the school, graduate out of the school and feel as though the year was difficult, but they made it and they're probably better for it.
As a young lady, I think her name was Faith, who was here at her first meeting when she laid down what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
She said, we're hands-on learners. We need the school. And the best was done that we could do. So well done to everybody. Yeah. Well done.
Excuse me, to that end, I'd like to stand up and give a round of applause to Mark, Sandra, and Tom.
We missed your cowboy now.
And not eat that sun, though.
Thank you, Tom. You've taken a motion, just to state it out.
Okay, everybody's ratings that were sent to me and told to me was Tom's rating was exemplary. So that is official. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Seeing none, motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, thank you very much for your continued support. The entire organization was rowing in the right direction. Sandy talks about learning gaps. I think the biggest accomplishment is that we think the gaps are limited and we have a strategy on how to deal with them, but that we're not seeing those gaps on the technical, vocational side of the curriculum, thanks to everybody being safe, smart, and kids will be ready for co-op, they'll be ready for next year. That's, I think, the hallmark of our success.
Well done, Tom. School calendar. So that's,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, this was a revised calendar for your acceptance.
do I have a motion to approve the school calendar? Abington?
I'll second it with him.
Cohasset? Second. Any discussion on the calendar? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Warrants?
My apologies, Mr. Mahoney, I did not print the warrants out before I left the office and stuff, but the hour warrants 24, 24A, 24B, 25, 25A, for a total of $1,1,746.92. Okay.
Situate?
Second.
Whitman? Any discussion on the warrants?
Can we just give him a raise?
I'm just gonna say
You
that.
couldn't get this over to me? You showed your paper?
It's like on TV.
One raise and now you can't even get this paper to me? So what chance I get to speak?
We did, that's why we gave him a raise. So you did that.
Oh, that's a good pay with
Daily show up back. All in favor? Opposed?
No, we didn't show up in time.
Motion carries.
Oh, sorry, I didn't have a card to bring me in here.
Any requests for action? Seeing none, I need a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing collective bargaining strategies for Unit A and B, because doing so in public session could negatively impact the bargaining position of the school committee.
So moved.
Make a motion to step into executive session and not to reconvene.
Second by Whitman. Rockland, Whitman. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Whitman?
Yes.
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 Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. It's unanimous. We are now in executive session.